Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen. This is your daily Rangers news update, guys, brought to you obviously by the channel. The only way to make sure obviously that you never miss out on any of the daily news updates, on any of the podcasts, on any of the live streams, on any of the free content is to hit that sub and ring that notification bell. If you hit the notification and you set it to all, you will always get that reminder springing up on your mobile device or on your computer to remind you when we have brought out a new video, when we're going live, or when we are putting out a podcast. That is the only way you will never ever miss out. Well, let's talk about the different bits of news that obviously are surrounding Glasgow Rangers today and what has come out over the last 24 hours. So first of all, Glasgow Rangers have been handed a platinum status as they obtain a return to a top club license. That is the news. Obviously, one of these being reported by the Daily Record today. Rangers have returned to having the status of a platinum SFA club license. A silver award was handed to the Premiership side last year, but they've been moved up to the top rung of the ladder for the first time since their return to the Scottish top flight in 2016. Rangers join their city rivals Celtic with this status. This is obviously important for Glasgow Rangers as they look to obviously return to where they were pre obviously the time where we obviously went bust and were pushed right down to the bottom level of Scottish football. This is a return to that top club status. This obviously comes on the top of the fact that we will obviously play Champions League football next season, whether we get through to the group stages or whether we just get pushed into the Europa League, who knows? But obviously Glasgow Rangers will face two qualifiers before they actually get through to the group stages. This obviously could be any teams from those European leagues, but obviously that will begin in June, that qualifying process. Rangers will have to get through 2 rounds in order to progress to the Champions League group stages. And obviously, given the need for the club to raise extra money for player acquisition, I think it is very important that they obviously progress through those 2 group stages. If they fail to do that, then obviously due to the coefficient, Rangers will be put into the Europa League group stages, which obviously again will bring an amount of money into the club, obviously not as substantial as Champions League football would. Obviously the intention of the club obviously is to qualify for the actual Champions League group stage and hopefully not repeat the embarrassment of last season, where Rangers finished with the worst record in Champions League group stage history. Obviously a lot of that will depend on the redevelopment that takes place of the playing squad over the summer by head coach manager Michael Beale. It was also revealed yesterday who the Player of the Season award nominees are for Glasgow Rangers. Now, many fans feel that it is not fitting to actually give a Player of the Season award, given the fact that Rangers have had such a poor season and are so far behind their city rivals. The fact that obviously to this date, at time of recording, the club have still not won a game against our city rivals this season. The 3 nominations are James Tavernier, who currently heads the scoring charts, which is quite remarkable, really, considering a right back. I know he takes penalties and free kicks, but he heads the scoring charts over any of our strikers. Tavernier, who had a very good game against Celtic in the last game, scored that wonderful free kick, and I think is one of the players that did come out with a pass mark in that game. The other player, obviously, who has received a nomination is Malik Tillman, the American who is on loan from Bayern Munich, who the club are purportedly getting ready to purchase for around £5 million in the summer. Tillman has had a very promising start to his Rangers career and is someone who many people feel is worth the £5 million. However, there are certain groups within the Rangers fan base who feel that Tillman is not worth £5 million, given the fact that he has gone missing in all the Old Firm games so far and has yet to prove himself against Celtic. Obviously he has 2 games to do that, but I think sometimes what is forgotten about Tillman is the fact that Tillman is 20 years old and this is his first season of first team football in a professional league. All his previous football has been played in a B team league or has been played in a youth league. He has never actually played first team football to this standard before. So obviously he is still learning. Personally, I believe that Tillman is worth taking the risk on, as I believe that, given time, he will develop and he will mature and he will become a very talented player, and certainly someone that Rangers can sell on at a future date for a massive profit. The third and final candidate is someone who definitely raised eyebrows amongst the Rangers fan base, and that is Borna Barosic. Borna Barosic, who has been caught out on a number of occasions this season for goals, caught out at the back post, no more so obviously than in the last game against Aberdeen, where him and Ben Davies conspired to let Miovski score that goal where neither of them took any ownership of the situation and both of them just let him have a free header. Barosic is someone who many fans think should be moved on in the summer, given the fact that he is moving into the last year of his contract. Barosic, obviously, Ridvan was bought last summer, which many people saw as a replacement for Borna, but due to the fact that Ridvan has spent most of the season injured, Borna Barosic has played the vast majority of games at left back for the club. Borna is someone who obviously has a very good left foot, is very good at delivery of those crosses into the box. However, some feel him suspect and have branded his defending amateur at times, especially against that lot from the other side of the city. Again, it is a big few games for Borna in terms of this semi-final and the remaining Old Firm game at Ibrox if Barosic is to win over those fans who doubt him at this point. Given the fact that Barosic is next season going into the final year of his deal, what really needs to happen is a decision needs to be made this summer over Borna, whether or not he will be retained or whether he will be allowed to leave. We certainly do not want to be sitting in a position that we are this year, where we've got 8 players out of contract who can all leave the club for free. Given the fact that himself, that Borna, that Kamar Roof and John Lundstrom are all out of contract next season, the club really does need to make a decision on these 3 players, or whether they will offer them a new deal or whether they are going to move them on now so that they don't walk away for nothing next summer. This is certainly not something as a club we want at all. Obviously, we're heading towards a semi-final on Sunday against Celtic. Now, there's been much debate in the media as to who should start alongside Connor Goldson, if Connor Goldson is fit. And obviously, we'll find out today when Michael Beale speaks to the media if Goldson has managed to make it through, and Goldson will be available for the semi-final. Certainly, his presence has been greatly missed over the last few weeks. Rangers have statistics where 12 out of 13 of their clean sheets have come when Goldson has been in the team, and Rangers concede more than a goal a game when Connor Goldson is not in the team. So many people obviously wanting Goldson to be back for this Sunday. Some people have said that if Goldson is back, Davies should not start alongside him, given the fact that he has played exceptionally poorly in the last couple of games and looks, to quote one of the podcasts this week, like a bomb scare about to happen. Some people believe that even despite that performance against Livingston at the start of the season, where he played to the left side of defence and was very poor, John Souter should be given the opportunity to start alongside Connor Goldson. That start against Livingston, he was still suffering with a niggling injury and had some personal issues off the field that he was dealing with. Therefore, many feel that Souter, who has been pretty good in the last few games after that ricket that he made in the Old Firm game, should be given the opportunity to start alongside Connor Goldson if he is fit in the Rangers back four. Rumours continue to persist around Rangers and their link to Championship defender Jonathan Panzo. Panzo is someone who has played for Nottingham Forest, has been on loan at Coventry City this year. Many people feel that Panzo could be a good option for Rangers. He is seen as being a very good and talented central defender and someone who plays on the left side of central defence. People feel that he could be a good long-term replacement for Ben Davies, given the fact that Ben Davies has really seemingly dropped off a cliff this year in terms of his performances. He makes mistakes, and the mistakes that he makes often lead to critical chances being created by the opposition, if not goals, like in the Celtic game. So could Jonathan Panzo be the answer for Rangers at central defence? It certainly seems that Nottingham Forest are willing to listen to offers for him this off-season. So could Rangers be one of the clubs that are interested and could make a move for him after a very impressive loan spell by Panzo at Coventry City this past season? Coventry, obviously, who are 5th currently in the Championship and are in the Championship playoff places, thanks to the efforts in part of Jonathan Panzo. Rangers obviously moved towards the semi-final on Sunday with nothing, I think, left to lose. There's a number of players in this team that really do need to go out there on Sunday and prove themselves and show themselves to be worthy of wearing that shirt, or at least worthy of another season in that shirt. The fact that Ryan Jack will be missing obviously increases the likelihood that John Lundstrom will start, or even possibly Glenn Kamara. Although, given the fact that Glenn Kamara has been out of the first team since that Viaplay Cup final, it does seem like Michael Beale is ready to move on from Glenn Kamara, and Kamara could well be off in the summer. However, Beale does seem to like Lundstrom. Many people are hoping that Lundstrom can put in a type of performance reminiscent of his performance in the semi-final last year, where people like Hatate and Callum McGregor were smashed up into the air by some of Lundstrom's crunching tackles. Certainly something we have not seen from him this season. Others have suggested that Scotty Arfield should start, given his impact and given his goal-scoring record against Celtic. It's obviously going to be an exceptionally tough game, and Michael Beale has some important decisions to make ahead of that game on Sunday. Obviously, given the fact that it is a must-win for Rangers, as Rangers seek to obviously stop Celtic from winning the treble, and also gain and defend the trophy that they won so well last year. Well, guys, that is the latest news coming out of Glasgow Rangers today at time of recording. So please let me know what you think of the stories in the comments. If you have any questions, any theories, any answers, please let me know in the comments below. I'll be only too happy to reply to you. Thank you once again for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. And if you can give this video a like, it really does help. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back to speak to you again here very soon here on Glasgow Rangers Nation.